Britain to test fire nuke missile in major show of force with sub launching 44 feet Trident II for first time since 2016. The Royal Navy is due to test fire a nuclear weapon within days. Top brass issued a warning to shipping as nuclear submarine HMS Vanguard sailed into the Atlantic this week. It is the first time the UK has test-fired a missile since a botched launch in 2016. And it follows a drumbeat of warnings that the world is careering to World War III. The Sun understands the £4 billion sub is scheduled to test-fire an unarmed missile after completing a 7-year refit in Plymouth. The tests are the final hurdle for HMS Vanguard to re-enter service as part of the UK's nuclear deterrent fleet. The 30-year-old submarine was pictured sailing from Port Canaveral in Florida on Tuesday morning. The Navy hailed the Doomsday vessel as a 491-feet colossus that can patrol undetected for months at a time. She can carry up to 16 Trident II D5 missiles, each armed with multiple British-made warheads that are each more than 20 times more powerful than the weapons dropped in World War II on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. The sub is expected to launch a single unarmed missile from 90 kilometers off the U.S. East Coast. The U.S. National Geospatial Intelligence Agency issued a warning to shipping that plotted the missile's expected course to an impact in the mid-Atlantic. The missile is due travel some 6,000 kilometers before ditching into the sea between Brazil and West Africa. The hazardous operations warning also plots areas much closer to the launch site where debris is expected to fall as parts of the 60-ton missile are burnt out and discarded. The US-made 44-feet Trident missiles are designed to blast to the edge of space and track their position against the stars before re-entering the atmosphere and plummeting to Earth. Their maximum range is some 12,000 kilometers. A Royal Navy source said its nuclear-armed submarines can each carry more explosive power than was dropped in the whole of the Second World War. Officials routinely refuse to comment on nuclear and submarine missions. However, the U.S. warning remains in force from 9 p.m. on January 30 to 4 a.m. on February 4. HMS Vanguard left Plymouth last year after a £500 million overhaul that took 3 years longer than planned. The Sun revealed that contractors who repairing HMS Vanguard botched repairs in the reactor chamber by gluing broken bolts back together. But the faults were detected in pre-mission checks. In 2016, her sister sub HMS Vengeance had a Trident missile misfire after a similar refurb. The intercontinental ballistic missile was due to fly 9,000 kilometers from near the coast of Florida to a target southeast of Ascension Island. But it veered dangerously off course and automatically self-destruct. Former PM Theresa May was accused of covering up the malfunction ahead of a vote in Parliament on renewing the UK's nuclear deterrent. It was only the 5th time a Trident II missile had been fired this century. Previous tests in 2000, 2005, 2009 and 2012 were widely publicized by the Ministry of Defense and Lockheed Martin, the weapons U.S. manufacturer, as proof of the weapon's reliability. Defense Secretary Grant Shapps and First Sea Lord Admiral Ben Key visited Washington, D.C. this week for talks with their U.S. counterparts. Shapps warned last week we were living in a pre-war era. He said the UK could soon be facing conflicts with Russia, Iran, North Korea, and China within 5 years.